music down. Welcome to the Tub, a very special edition of the Tub today. I am Chemo Nevius. I am your host. I am a singer-songwriter. I have brought my guitar so I can both singer and songwrite right here on the air. It's gonna be very exciting. I am the man with the hat, but if you're watching at home on television, hi there, television audience. You can see my hat, but I'm gonna take it off so that I can put my headphones on. I like the hat too, but hang on. Turns out my headphone cord is very, very short. All right, we'll turn that down even a little bit more. So, welcome to today's edition of The Tub, Maui's Hot Talk, Celebrity, Music, and Public Affairs radio show. We are very excited to have you here on our radio at 88.5 FM, KAKU, the voice of Maui. Sitting across from me today is the lovely Sweet Mama D. How are you today, Mama D? And great. And sitting next to her is an empty stool. It's an empty stool that I have on very good authority will be comedian Chuck Sauce very, very shortly. He wrote to me and he said, I'll be there at the dot of 4. Well, it's 4 exactly. It's 4:01 and we don't have Mr. Sauce yet, but I'm sure he will be here. He is a man of his word. So, and that's it. You know, I could keep going around the room and introducing empty chairs, but there are no more people to introduce because today's show is going to be me and Sweets, and we're going to talk about music, and we're going to talk about what's going on Maui, and we're going to talk about what great lives we lead. Not that you guys at home don't lead great lives too. Don't get me wrong. I'm here to talk about how everybody, life is a wonderful thing, and I'm very happy. Let me turn you up there.
Oh,
there we
thank you,
go.
kind sir. Oh, there I am.
Yeah, I know. I was doing the Larry thing at the beginning where nobody else can talk.
No one else can talk but him. Where's the bell?
Exactly. I'll bring the bell in a second. So let me do the tasteful fade on the fade it up. And we fade it down. There we go. All right. And here he comes. We introduced you in absentia.
Oh, good to know.
Oh,
baby,
yeah.
baby.
I think I'm going to turn. I may or may not turn you. He's leaving.
He
comes in for 2 seconds to our.
He made an appearance. He's done. Okay.
He threw some promotional materials on the table and he stormed out. Oh well.
Aloha, everybody. What a lovely day it is.
It is a lovely day. I'm really glad you're here, Chuck
in
Sauce.
downtown historic Kahalui'ville.
Oh, it's historic now?
Everything's historic.
Well, it is. It's the dream city, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
can talk about that too. But before we talk about any of these wonderful things, before we do that, would you mind, Sweet Mama D, telling the fine folks at home what the heck it is they have stumbled upon?
This is The Tub, Maui's Hot Talk Celebrity Music and Public Affairs show. Whoop, whoop. Today's episode number 287.
Number 287. We are 13 episodes away from the historic 300th episode. And I'm already planning this, guys. It is going to be a blowout.
That's a rub-a-dub-tub.
I mean, the
Rub-a-dub.
only thing I can reveal at this point is that there will be a bouncy house set up.
How revealing.
Really?
Okay, maybe
Is it
no.
a red one? Okay.
But that's all. I'm contractually obligated to not tell you any more about the 300th episode, but it's going to be a great one.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of contracts here at KAKU.
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
Everything's litigious.
This is Friday, September the 29th. No, it's not.
Oh, sorry. It is not. We've gone into a time warp, and the poor people at home.
Let's do the time warp again.
It is Friday, October 20th.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. That's what happens when you cut and paste.
I didn't read it. Okay. My fault, too. This episode will air again tomorrow at 8 a.m. and on Friday, October... What?
27th.
At 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 28th at 8 a.m. Plus, we are a wonderful, marvelous TV show.
We are a wonderful and marvelous. I just tuned into us the other day. We were pretty entertaining.
I thought so.
I thought so.
Watch us on Akaku Television at Channel 55, Friday nights at 8 p.m., Saturday night at 12 midnight, and Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Or stream video on www.mauitvnradio.com. Want to be on the show? You need to learn how to type, for real.
I'm a very good typist, just not always,
Okay.
when I'm banging these things out.
Email your host at chemo@chemosongs.com.
That's me.
The Tub is a Larry John production.
Yeah, Larry John.
Larry Bear.
Is Larry going to be involved in the bounce house?
He will bounce, I promise. He will bounce.
Maybe Larry is the bounce house.
Hey!
Have you thought
Got his
about that?
little hand on
Spoiler
the
alert.
top. Hey.
Maybe it'll just be a giant Larry.
Hey.
Wacky inflatable Larry Arm.
Exactly.
Man.
You know,
All
we already
right.
have those masks,
The mask.
those Larry
it could work.
masks.
It could work. Put them
We-
on each four of the corners.
Exactly.
You know?
Or we could just build a giant Larry bounce house.
Oh, that's easy.
And we could just
we can
bounce
do that.
around
Yeah,
inside
that
it.
sounds really easy, sweet Mama T.
Never mind. See,
Yeah,
if
it's
I
just-
say it'll be wrong,
or
so I'll
it-
just shut up.
It just sounds so simple.
What a beautiful day here at KAKU.
It
Yes,
is.
You are. Oh, darling.
Well, we like to start the show, and by we I mean me.
Sure.
It's my show. You people
I
just show
don't
up.
want to start the show. I actually tried my hardest not
I
to
know
start
you,
the show.
you came very,
I messaged you though.
you did, and I appreciate that. Thank you. So we do like to start with a little segment that we call shameless self-promotion, so that you can tell
Shameless?
people shameless self-promotion, so you can tell the fine folks at home where you are, what you're doing, and we're not going to start with you. And you're very excited, Chuck.
He's
You're
got
both
something to
excited and
say.
excitable. You've had a good day at work, I
I've
can
had a
tell.
great day at work.
All right, but let's start with Sweet Mama
You
D.
were?
Sometimes.
I know. The words sounded weird coming out of my mouth.
You were? Sauce work? What?
But I mean, I have it on good authority that he does occasionally do work. So,
He occasionally does work.
what's going on that where people can see you or hear you or
They
experience
can
you?
hear me. Well, see, that comes under a lot of care. Shut up. That comes under a lot of categories right there.
Well, let's talk about
Cut to the chase,
Music.
Mama T.
Oh, you're too quick, baby.
let's
Slow
talk about
down.
music right now.
Slow down, honey. On Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m.
2 to 5.
2 to 5. You like
Correct,
that?
I do.
2 to 5.
I do it just for you. You know that. Is the Mana'o Radio Rainbow Blues Show on 91.7 FM. That's my blues rainbow. I have fun with that. And I'm going to jump the gun and promote a little something here.
Please
So
do.
Puerto
That's why
Rican,
we're here.
the benefit for Puerto Rico will be Sunday evening, right after my show. I will be there. Maybe I'll be performing. We shall see.
Whoa. Okay.
Where is this benefit for Puerto Rico?
That benefit will be held at Nalu's in Kihei.
Oh, all right, cool.
You all have worked in radio for far too long.
Far too long. Whee! And yourself. And
Now, Mama T, I heard rumors that you actually play instruments too, in addition to giving people this good island good music. Is that true?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, alrighty. Where can people catch you playing music this week or next week?
In my bathroom.
Hey!
In the shower
In the
with Mama D.
shower.
That's right.
Baby, baby,
Little
baby.
bubble pop, huh?
Woo! Baby. Big bubbles.
Moving right along. Wow, we've been on the air for 10 minutes.
We'll be off the
And
air.
we're going to
in
be off the
2.
air in 2. Exactly. Well, just so you folks at home know, we're having a great time in the studio today. I wish that you were here with us because you would be having a great time too. Maybe you're stuck in your car, you're driving home from
You
work.
poor things.
And I'm just hoping that a little bit of the mirth that we are enjoying here is getting through the airwaves and you're
You got
hearing it.
mirth, I got
You got
you.
mirth.
You know, you're stuck in traffic on the Mokulele, though I hear the Mokulele had its name changed. Is that correct?
Veterans
hope so.
Memorial Highway.
It's
Yeah.
who?
Yeah.
When?
When you pull out of Hampton Road, it now says Veterans Memorial
Are you
Highway.
serious?
They got rid of Mokulele, but it's still Mokulele.
And I would like
Something
to.
I can pronounce. Thank you.
And you are a veteran.
I
and thank
am.
you very much for your service.
You're very welcome.
So before we come back to Sweet Mama D, let's talk to
Sauce?
since he came, let's talk to Sauce.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chemo. Good afternoon, Steve Mama T.
What's
It's
going
so
on?
nice to be on the show today. You can catch me, Chuck Sauce, Maui's best local comedian somehow.
Not that he's bragging or
Yeah,
anything.
I
Every
purposely
Tuesday
let that
night
out
at
this time.
Trees Bar and Grill. I'm hosting this Tuesday night. It's an open mic night,
Woo!
but some of us are a little more seasoned comedians.
Yeah.
So it's like
What
a good
seasoning
showcase
is that?
show. What's up?
What seasoning is that?
McCormick steak.
Okay,
you know,
thanks.
the good one.
I like that a little. Oh, I have a surprise for you one of these
Ooh.
nights.
Alrighty, one of these.
Are you going to
nights.
come do stand up? Or is Secret Asian Man going to come do stand-up?
Oh, that would be great. He doesn't know how funny he
I'm doing a
actually
show next week, Friday the 27th, October, Friday the 27th.
Uh-huh.
And
Friday.
it's an early bird show. It's a 7 o'clock door, 7:30 show.
Ooh, my kind of.
At the historic Taco Bell Theater, a.k.a.
Taco
Pro
Bell
Arts.
Theater.
And it's $20, and it's BYOB. And I heard a rumor
that one with
that
the
one of my
kegs?
friends is bringing 4 cases of wine to it to share for free.
Ooh.
So it's not technically BYOB.
He should
It's
bring his own bottle.
exactly.
This guy's done
Or
it. But
box,
it's
whatever it
$20.
is.
But that's just a
You
rumor.
get cabaret, you get cocktails, you get meat chuck sauce, and you get comedy.
Wait, cabaret
Comedy.
and cabernet?
We got the girls showing off their hoo-has in fancy maid outfits. It's great.
Well,
now.
you sold that to me, Chuck
So
Sauce.
That's right.
family
So,
oriented.
now-
yes.
Check it out. We got vegan
What's-
poo-poos from Costco.
Do you really?
I just made that
Wow.
up.
Yeah, you
to
did.
entice
If
you.
they're vegan, I might go. When is
See?
this again? Can you
This
tell me?
is Friday,
October 27th.
October 27th.
Is
At
that
7
this
o'clock,
T-Dot?
7:30 show at Pro Arts
Mhm.
in Kihei, right by Nalu's,
Nalu.
where you're performing this Sunday.
Perhaps.
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 What?
Maybe.
What's the
see.
cover?
$20.
All right.
$20?
$20.
$20.
7 o'clock doors.
It's good. It's a great
27th
venue.
of October.
Yeah.
The historic Pro Arts Theater.
That's right.
Historic Pro Art Taco Bell Theater. Yeah. Okay.
In the historic Azeka
We got
Makai.
Ted Anderson is headlining. I'm hosting, and
Teddy.
Chino LaForge is featured. It's going to be a real rowdy night.
Of course.
So see now I'm just going back to bed again. I mean, I was there with the vegan poo poos.
going-
Vegan
but,
poo-poos, and we got wine from 2012.
Hey. it's
White wine
aged.
from 2012.
It's nicely aged.
That you made in your very own
That I
bathtub.
made in my own bathtub.
I used to make wine when I was a child.
When I was a child.
Whoa.
We won't even necessarily get into that story,
Is
or
that
perhaps
weed
we will.
wine? Is that you're talking about?
No, I used to live in a country where alcohol is illegal,
Mm.
and a
A
number
country or a county?
of a country, a
Whoa.
completely different country, and a lot of people. I'm not saying it was me. A
Mhm.
lot of people
I
made
am, but come on.
their own grain
so-
alcohol and
Yeah.
made their own really terrible wine and beer.
It sounds like prison,
Or Kentucky.
but I'm guessing the Middle East,
Same
actually.
thing.
You are correct. It is in the Middle
Yes.
East.
Yeah.
But
Were you like a teacher overseas or something?
I was a child. I really was a child.
Oh,
and
you're
so
a baby.
I was not all that involved in the winemaking. I
You
did.
made your own. Though.
You know,
I-
I hear
Good for you.
children's feet are the best feet for stomping grapes. You should have taken advantage of it. Shame on your parents for not getting your little chemo Nevius toes all up inside the grappa.
Hey, Mom.
Nevius wine. Love it.
I know you're enjoying this right now, and I just want you to know that Chuck Sauce thinks you're a bad parent
You're a
Because-
bad mama jamma for not
'Cause-
making
because I
vintage
was not
wine with your son.
jumping on the grapes.
Jimmy
You
wine.
don't jump on the grapes. You stomp on the
on the
grapes.
grapes,
How did
baby.
your mom raise
Stomp.
you?
Get it right, baby. Come
Well,
on.
I have to say that when you're making illegal wine in a foreign country, you're probably
the
making it not
wine.
out of like grapes you're stomping. I mean, I'm
Well-
pretty sure we made it out of grape juice or Ribena,
Whatever
or
you can
ju-
find
exactly
handy,
an old glove. I don't
An
know.
old glove, whatever.
I'm
falls
actually
in
much more the wine. I'm not so familiar with. I am familiar with the grain alcohol, and we would
Mhm.
make hooch in a still, just like you
The
imagine
old-fashioned way.
in Kentucky or
Dukes.
prison, and we used orange juice as the base, so frozen
Yeah.
orange juice.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, that's as he says Chuck, like that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Why do you think Vince can never be on the show? He's there watching the
He's
still.
got a plethora of frozen orange juice.
He's just looking, making sure the temperature doesn't
I
get
don't
too
have
high.
a can opener. I pop that can, man.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
Oh dear.
You need to play something.
I do. Well, we're still doing shameless sell. So there's this big Puerto Rican benefit on Sunday
Yes,
that
there
Sweet
is.
Mama D is.
Puerto Rico benefit.
Yeah, no, it's all Puerto Ricans. I'm not going.
Oh,
if it's
well.
Not anymore.
Not,
if it's
not
not
with that attitude.
They're not letting you
But
in.
I would just like to point out that myself and the great Steve Craig, who
Yes.
unfortunately
What is he doing?
he couldn't. He's over
Friend of the show, Steve Craig.
a little overscheduled today,
Yeah,
and so
Oh,
couldn't.
what do you have, a nap and a haircut?
Could be. He's got a lot of gigs on his plate right now, including, and let's get
Including.
serious here for a moment.
That's right.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. This is to say Saturday, October 21st, at Wailuku Coffee Company.
and to see you.
Yeah.
Someone is coming specifically to see you, Guy. The Invisible Man.
The Invisible.
That book sucks.
Oh. I'm turning off your mic. I want you to know that
Ban.
we're instituting a 3 strikes
It's not
program.
about a superhero. It's about equal rights, and it's terrible. It's boring, and it's sad.
Shut up. I got your ego right here.
All right.
Watch out, boy.
All right.
Watch out.
Back to me. Back to me. So this is why I need the bell.
Yeah.
2 o'clock at the Wailuku Coffee Company from 2 to 4. Mr. Steve Craig and I are going to be performing in a very intimate acoustic show that is kind of based on what coffee houses were like in
Right.
Greenwich Village in the 1960s when Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and Peter, Paul, and Mary were getting their start. They would play at these kind of divey cafes, and you didn't get paid unless people put money in the basket. And so we're not getting paid either.
Bring your own basket.
But we're bringing our own basket. And instead of the money going to the artists, we are going to donate everything we can collect, plus a percentage of merchandise sales from the artists is going to go to hurricane relief.
Yay.
So
Oh,
for
great.
U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico in particular, both of which, as you know, are very hard hit. I mean, people in Puerto
yeah.
Rico they don't have water. There's no electricity.
Finally heard from friends from there.
Yeah,
Took a week and a half.
Everyone I know knows somebody who's got a terrible story. I've got a friend who,
It's
he's
horrible.
collecting stuff for his mom. I have friends who have friends in the U.S. Virgin Islands that are just absolutely, the place has been decimated.
Yes.
Everywhere you
It's
turn
gone.
360 degrees, you don't see a building standing where it
Everything's
used to be
gone.
a big neighborhood. So I'm encouraging anybody and everybody to come down and see this show. And, there's no cover.
And it's in Wailuku. It's centrally located.
It's in
There's
Wailuku.
no reason
Right.
you shouldn't be there.
Wailuku Coffee Company, if I could just
They're
give a shout out to
beautiful.
them, they're not just our hosts. They are a lovely, lovely
Yes.
institution.
Love the place.
And the coffee's great. The food is great. Lots of vegan options
Yes,
for all
there
you
are.
vegans out there,
All of you. Mm-hmm.
including you, Chuck Sauce.
That's right.
So you'll be able to grab a
Biscuits
bite.
and gravy himself.
Yeah, exactly. Have a cup of coffee, and we're going to tell some really fun stories about what it's like to be a troubadour. And we're going to sing some songs solo. We're going to go. The way the format's going to work is we're going to trade back and forth. I'll sing a song. Steve will sing a song. Maybe we'll sing a song together, and it'll be a ton of fun. And if you don't come, well,
You don't come.
You're a loser. I mean,
Well,
that's all
yeah.
there is to it. If you don't come, Chuck Sauce,
What day is it?
it is
Saturday.
October 21st.
Oh, so tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I
So
work.
you indeed will be working, so you're
Yeah.
off the hook.
Oh.
All you other people who will be working,
And it's 2 to 4?
yeah, it's from 2 to 4.
Oh, all right.
So it's a nice afternoon. So we're trying to
Nice little
revive
outing.
this idea of
So this is going to happen quite frequently. I
this
take
is
it.
going to happen once a month. It'll be a
Once a month.
different charity. It'll be on the third Saturday of the month.
All right.
This one happens to be sort of we're dealing with a moment of crisis here, and so
Yes.
the money that we raise is gonna leave our island and go to other islands. But this could happen to us.
Indeed, we're right in the.
We're
And
right
we're
at-
so isolated.
We're so
Yes.
isolated that hurricane, any of those hurricanes that form in
Any
the
day.
Pacific, could do to us what happened to Puerto Rico anytime.
And the way capitalism works is that the
Yes.
hotels get built first, not where I
Okay.
live.
Right. So yeah, Chuck Sauce could be
Exactly.
homeless for months. Is
Yeah.
what we're saying here.
Don't let this man sleep
And
on
that's
your
even
couch.
without a hurricane.
So
I'm just
so
saying.
it, so it behooves us to help our friends in these other islands
Right.
because
Yeah.
someday we may need them to be helping us.
Yes.
So that's going to be this month. Things are still a little bit in flux, but I know that the future ones, November, December, are going to be local nonprofits.
Cool.
Nice.
So that we'll be, keeping the money,
keeping it here.
keeping the money here for people who need our help. So that's one of the things we're going to do. This show is going to be dedicated to talking about that. I'm going to sing some songs.
You're gonna sing.
Groovy.
I'm going to sing music for you folks. But before we get to that, Grape Escape.
You know what? I'm plugging something else for once.
What?
Well,
I will plug it though. Grape Escape, third Friday, which is tonight.
It's
Yes, it
tonight.
is.
That's why I
third
thought
Friday
of you.
of the month at the Fairmont. They do a wine food pairing. It's 5-course, 5 wines. It's $50,
nice.
and they're full pours. It's a good deal.
All right.
This month is Italy.
Woohoo. But what did you want to plug that was not that? That is something that has nothing to
gotta-
do with Chuck Sauce.
I got a really special event.
Please don't break your microphone.
That I want to plug. It's far in advance, so I can get to plug it again in 2 weeks if the show is still.
If this is not our final episode, if this is our final
Yeah.
episode,
hopefully
I really do
we
appreciate
hang on-
everything.
We cling on to bounce house time.
I
But,
know we got to get to episode 300.
There's this wonderful nonprofit on Island. It's called Best Buddies, and they are part of the inclusion revolution that mixes special needs children with honor students
Oh, great.
in the
It's a
school and then
wonderful,
out of the
wonderful
school.
program.
It's a really great program. They finally opened it up. It's now K through 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's a literally there's like 4 people that work there on Island. The rest are all volunteer.
Right.
It's a national organization, but before 10 years ago, there was no inclusion at all in any schools. And now we're getting rid of the short bus. We're
Yes.
keeping them together, because how are you supposed to learn social skills
Thank you.
if
They
you're
have
not
to be
involved with the
people.
general population? And that
Right.
goes for the honors kids, the regular kids, and the kids that need a little TLC. So there's this event. It's called the Sweets. You should
Thank
like
you.
it.
Hey,
That's
are
right.
you master of ceremonies?
And
today?
it's in the shops at Wailea at November 12th.
Okay.
And it's called Best Buddies Sweets.
Mhm.
And it's great. It's a little bit of a fundraiser. They have all the chefs from all the resorts make a dessert.
Oh, so good.
And there's wine and there's food. And it's about $20 to get in. You can kind of
It's
hassle
well
with
worth
it
it.
because it's a donation.
It's well worth
But there's entertainment. It's right there in the middle of Shops Wailea. And it's November 12th from 2 to 5. And if you like wine, if you like cheesecake, and you like helping out something great, there's
Good
no
cause.
better cause than this. It's really important, especially at the schools on this island.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they need a little bit of extra love, and it's tough to get all the money from the taxes, so some of this money has
Doesn't
to come
hurt.
from nonprofits.
And it's a great program.
It's
I've
a
had
great
some of the
program. It's for a
kids
great
when I
cause.
was
So-
at Cool
Look up
did.
Best Buddies. They do a wonderful
That's
job
great.
on the island.
So what you're saying is this might be a good candidate to do some of our third Saturday
Ooh,
fundraising.
perhaps
Yeah.
I would
Hey,
love
hey.
to put you in contact with
Exactly.
people.
So,
We would love to be in contact
How
with
do
them.
people contact you to do that? by
Yeah,
the
so
way?
I am Chemo, and my email, which is no, I'm not. This is not a Starbucks on the mainland, so my name is not CHEMO.
Get out
Isn't
of
that
here.
nice?
That has happened to me more
yes,
than once.
it has. I'm sure.
So
Well,
I-
how could it not?
How could it
mean,
not? Exactly. And the looks that they give you, you're like, my name's Chemo, and they're like,
It's what?
you little pro.
they're like, okay, your parents were really
Right.
terrible.
Did you make
I
that
know.
up
They didn't even
yourself?
teach you how to stomp grapes.
Exactly. Hey, it's Chemo, KIMO, at chemosongs.com.
Ooh,
Chemo
yay.
Songs, because I'm a songwriter. And anybody who is interested in finding out more about tomorrow's show, in finding out about future events, in maybe being the nonprofit that we can be in touch, wants to be in
Love
touch
those
with me.
Best Buddies.
So best, yeah,
Indeed.
exactly. We will talk off the air about that. What
Yes,
what
dear.
would you like to plug that doesn't? Is there anything you want to talk about? You want to talk about your other radio show
My other radio show.
and the
No,
no?
that
Okay.
no longer exists. No, I had to step away from Women Matters, only because my life has gotten a little busy. I'm trying to complete my autobiography, Gypsy Girl from Hog Bottom Creek, and
Gypsy Girl from Hog Bottom Creek. It's a great name.
Looking forward to the movie.
You
Exactly.
should. Ooh boy,
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Outtakes. And then there's my songs. I'm busy writing music. I'm up to 7 songs now, working on the last 3. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
It's called The Assortment.
Cool. I love it. I love it when a project comes together.
Not to forget.
And not to forget.
Am I boring you?
Yeah.
Looking at your
He's
phone.
No, not at
Am I
all.
boring you?
No.
Yeah.
So, get out.
You see if my mom
I'm
texted
posting
him.
stuff on Facebook.
My mom is probably like, "Why are you, saying I'm a bad parent?"
Okay.
Chuck sauce.
I think it's novel that you think your parents listen to you.
And I'm going to bounce this around only because it's coming up. We're preparing for the Ladies Sing the Blues come December
Oh.
3rd.
Whoa, hammer time.
Have a time.
December 3rd, Ladies Sing the Blues. Tell me more about
Boom,
it.
boom, boom. We've got myself.
That's your second strike, Chuck sauce.
Okay, two. ding, 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 ding. We've got myself, Tempest Singa Nave, Nora Boone, Jamie Gallo, and Natalie Nicole Robles
Wow.
with our band for the Pacific Blues Society.
Mhm.
And we will be at Casanova from 2 to 5.
All right.
Yeehaw!
Love
And
Casanovas.
remind me the date. December
December the 3rd.
the 3rd. Okay. That is the first
The
what,
first Sunday
Sunday?
of December.
The first Sunday
So
of
they'll
December.
broadcast that live on
Yes, sir.
91.7?
They will. Will be broadcast
Interesting.
live.
That's awesome.
And
That's
who
all I can
knows?
say.
So you might see it again somewhere on Akaku. Perhaps.
Interesting.
Oh.
So those are all cool things.
Yes, they are.
You said you had some surprise? Or you already told me the surprise?
I did.
Okay.
About the Invisible Man.
I thought that might have been the surprise.
Oh, I
Coming
cut
to
that
see
off.
you. Oh, yeah, you did. And
I know, you always so quick with a joke, but sometimes
Sometimes.
you want to hear the
Sometimes.
information, and then you're like,
It's
did
a
I miss something?
tumultuous show we're on.
It is a tumult. It is the tub. We are.
It
This is
is
the
the
spirit of Larry
tub.
John has come down.
Tumultuous.
And by spirit of Larry John, I mean giant bouncy house of Larry John.
Larry is a giant bouncy house.
The Tub
Yes,
is a
he
Larry John production.
Woo.
I think every time, I think we have Carl, our director out there,
Carl Sagan.
who is, he has a really good picture of Larry John that he uses in the end credits of this show. I think perhaps every time we say the words
It should
Larry
flash.
John, that should just flash up on the screen.
LJ.
Because that'll certainly make it for more entertaining
The one with the rooster
television
would be
for
good.
people at home.
They're
Yeah.
going to think we're running a cult if they watch this on television.
What
Wait,
is this
first of all,
about?
are we not running a cult?
All right.
We might be.
Perhaps.
Here at KKU 88.5, the voice
The
of
voice
Larry
of
John.
Maui.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
When we used to all wear
Hey.
the shirts, it looked more
No,
cult-like.
We didn't wear the. We
You,
didn't wear the.
I know
shirt.
you did, but
Do y'all want power-up shirts? Because I got extra power-up
Bet
shirts.
you do. See, if I
Well-
wait power up, it'll just say PU or something. I don't know.
No, it would stretch it
No, it
out
won't. No,
with your
baby.
gypsy
no,
bosom.
Gypsy.
from Hog Bottom Creek.
Gypsy.
Oh, so you can say gypsy, but I can't?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think it's not the gypsy part she's
Oh.
objecting to.
The-
Hashtag
what?
me too.
Whee! Here
All
you
right.
go.
I confess, I don't know how cleavage works, and I apologize to our audience
You're a little young yet. It's all right.
at radio
It's
and at
okay.
home.
Which one of these do I want to make this like the whole room here?
Can you
There
do your
go.
Tom
Light it up,
Chapin
light it
songs?
Do I know any Tom Chapin
No,
songs?
you are Tom Chapin.
Love, it's a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Just imagine there's horns.
Oh, that's what that was? Okay. Just checking.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The ring of fire. Hey. That's a little Johnny Cash for you there. Just because I was thinking about Johnny Cash.
Men in Black.
Yeah. So, what do you laugh?
That was great.
He always laughs. He does that.
It's a nervous habit. That's why you became a comedian. You're like, if I'm laughing all the
Yeah,
time,
might as well. make it
Anyway.
a while, you know?
I might as well just. So when I write a lot of songs about Maui, and I write a lot of songs about Maui history, and I kind of focus. I have this album coming out someday. Someday.
Someday.
It's basically done, but I got to work. Hi, if my graphic designer is listening to the show today,
Hint, hint,
we've
wink,
got to
wink,
really
wink,
get
wink.
going on this book because it's going to be music and a CD, but illustrated lyrics,
Oh,
because the lyrics all tell stories, and the stories are kind of interesting ways to get. I'm gonna change this back to the. Which one is that?
That ain't it.
Hey. That's one. Hey,
Oh,
I
okay.
like that.
There you go.
The stories are kind of interesting ways, I think, to get at parts of the Maui story that doesn't get told. In particular, if you're a visitor here, you hear about Native Hawaiians, which is great and very important, and then it's like Hawaii 5-0.
Right. That's it. There's no nothing
in
else.
between.
No.
So there's an ancient culture that I think, I have my own qualms a little bit about with the way that luau's tell the story.
They kind of negate or they
But-
don't talk about the caste
But at
system.
least there's at least that's an attempt to bring ancient Hawaii
little.
to life.
No one's listening.
And
You're
then-
watching the Hulu.
And then
They're
there's
not.
and then there's dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun.
yeah.
So in
Dun,
between.
dun,
So my
dun.
songs range from the arrival of Captain Cook through the kind of boat day era, right before statehood. So I'm filling that gap. And I wrote a song a couple of years ago about a guy from Puerto Rico,
Puerto Rico.
because there was in 1899, I want to say, I'm going to get this right, maybe 1900. I'll look it up before tomorrow's show.
That was a good time for
Well-
Puerto Rican merchants, actually.
Well,
They did well.
1898 is the Spanish-American War.
Mhm.
That's when Puerto Rico is annexed into the United States. And immediately after that, there is a very devastating hurricane that comes, very similar to what has just happened, but even worse. And the reason the United States, wanted Puerto Rico as a territory was to grow sugar.
Right.
And the plantations were just wiped off the map. And so this is a story about a guy named Juan who comes to Hawaii because that's what happened. A lot of Puerto Rican sugar plantation workers were hired on by the sugar companies here because they had the
They knew what
requisite
to do.
skills.
Right.
And so he comes here and takes one look at this place and says, "Yeah, I don't want to work in sugar anymore." Rips up his contract and becomes a cowboy. So
Paniolo.
it's this weird song that's not a Paniolo song, and is not a sugar song, and is not a song about Puerto Rico, and yet it's a song about all those things at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, is there going to be a quiz?
Yes.
Okay.
And the song's called Keone, which is the Hawaiian for John or Juan. So
Bon.
we'll see if I can actually play this through. There's a harmonica part, but I'm realizing
Oh, I
that
thought that was a sandwich holder. I was so curious
If
For
I-
you, it
what
would be
that
a
was.
sandwich.
if I want to play the
I'm like, man, Kimo has a sandwich
if I want to
holder?
play the harmonica part, I have to take the headphones off. So I have to think.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm actually
If
going
you
to.
think Kimo should take his headphones off, give us a call at 808-873-3435.
Did I hear correctly? You can text the shows while they're
Yes,
happening.
you can.
Shaggy's
Yes,
getting a
Please
lot of stuff
don't do
done.
that.
I feel like
Please
we've
don't
all
do
ignored Shaggy for like 2 months, and then
Love
he
you,
just has
Shaggy.
gotten all this stuff done.
Well, that's.
I was paying attention for like a year and a half and nothing got done.
And all of a sudden, boom.
All of a sudden,
So we'll try this, and we'll see if I can get this
and
song.
this is called Hurricane?
It's called Keone.
No.
If you
The man the authorities came to blame.
Oh, Keone was a cowboy up on Haleakala, pushing that head of cattle through the dawn. He was born in Puerto Rico back in 1865. Now only his sainted mother calls him Juan. He was hired on as a field hand at Keepahulu Sugar Co. He stepped ashore one day at New Bay. Now he drinks a kolehao and sleeps with his boots right at the door. And his old life seems a half a world away. And sometimes he dreams he's dancing in the old town square, playing along while La Borinqueña plays. And sometimes his dreams are big enough that he doesn't feel alone. and most of the time he's happy that he stayed. Oh, he grew up in Guayama, fought the Yankees in '98, saved what little he had to buy a farm. He was standing on the seashore on San Ciriaco's day when the whole wide world was swallowed by that storm. So he hired on with the mill, they paid his ticket, room and board. He left with nothing but faith and unpaid bills. By the time his ship reached Maui, nay, his faith was all but gone. So he burned his contract and headed for the hills. And sometimes he dreams he's dancing in the old town square, swaying along while the Borinqueña plays. And sometimes his dreams are big enough that he doesn't feel alone. And most of the time he's happy that he stayed. It's a hard life on the mountain, but at least it's honest work. Sleeping out 'neath 500,000 stars. Driving longhorn steer across the crater floor all day. Playing vaquero songs on old slack key guitars. And sometimes he dreams he's dancing on the porch of the old ranch store, swaying along while Hawaii Aloha plays. And sometimes his dreams are big enough that he doesn't feel alone. And most of the time he's happy that he stayed. Okay, Honey was a cowboy up on Haleakala. Why, thank you very much.
Yay!
Why, thank you.
Chemo.
Yeah.
So it's not like we chose, to do this for Puerto Rico just because I wrote that song.
But just
But-
in case you had one handy.
I just happen to have one handy. So now I'm going to have to write one for every non-Bright.
There you go. Build some up for the next
Exactly.
alphabet,
Exactly. One at a time. So I was going to ask you a question. I'm messing up the lyrics during that song because I'm thinking I'm going
If
to
you
ask.
don't tell
I'm
anybody,
gonna
I was
ask-
so
we won't
quiet.
know.
No,
and
no,
so good
you were
for
you
your
were
song.
you were
Really
very
was.
attentive, and then I
Give him
thought of a
award.
question that I wanted to ask you,
Oh, sure.
and now it's
Gone.
gone forever.
Wait till you get up here. You'll
ask
gone.
Ask me a question.
What?
So ask me a question. No. So man, it's really
What
completely.
an interesting time, though, the
It
1900s to come here
Yeah, I
from Puerto
really-
Rico.
it-
Because
Could you
remind our
imagine?
listeners here at KKU 88.5
the voice of Maui.
when the Panama Canal was built.
Thank you.
A man, a plan, a canal, Panama.
That's right.
Do you know what that is backwards?
It's the same thing backwards.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
palindrome.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, around McKinley was the president when they were
Yep,
building.
so-
Bill McKinley was shot in 1900, right? No, shot in 190. 1901,
Well,
1903.
it was completed, I think,
Right
in
in there somewhere.
1912.
Yeah, so Roosevelt took over that project.
Yeah, because
So
in 2012 it went back to
celebrated.
right.
the
So
Panama.
prior to that
So
point,
imagine you're a Puerto Rican farmer and
you
a
have to go
hurricane comes
around
through.
the horn.
You gotta go around the world to come here. Around the world.
It's a long trip, baby.
It was a
come
long
here.
trip. I actually was reading at one
And what a
point.
terrible employer, by the way. He got here and was like, "No
Yeah,
thanks,
no thank
sugar.
I'll go back
Exactly.
with the ping.
I don't want any molasses or rum to come out of me. I also like that you are wearing a shirt that says "Be kind to animals or I kill you," and you just wrote a song that turned this Puerto Rican negligent worker into a hero
It's a
for bringing
protest.
steers across Haleakala.
Right, which of course the environmentalist in me was like, what?
But Kipahulu is they had a lot they had a lot of cattle there too,
Yes.
or sugar there.
Yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah.
That's some yummy cows. Am I right, Chemo?
Yeah, and I,
Am I right?
I would totally know, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
right.
You know.
Yeah, I have zero memory of what meat tastes like.
That
but
is
that's-
not true.
I know what
Here,
fake
sniff
meat.
my arm.
Yeah, I know what fake meat. This is the sort of the thing that is going on with vegans a lot these days. Is they're culturing meat in laboratories now.
Yes.
Yes.
That is going to be meat. It just won't come from an animal.
No, thank you.
And so it will be
No, thank you.
ethically.
Well,
Okay.
you guys have crossed the bridge on
Ethically,
cheese.
it's a chemical. No.
But let's
No.
not do the Franken-food versus
All
non-Franken-food.
filler and no killer.
But
Hey.
exactly. But the question is, when they make this, and well, some vegans just won't touch it. But
Yeah.
if say I were to eat it, would I even like it?
Yeah,
Because
but
it's been so long since I've had
Okay.
genuine.
you wouldn't know the difference.
First of all, you would definitely enjoy a cheeseburger if you had one right now.
Would I?
Let's make that very clear.
But I'm
that
happy with
cheeseburgers
faux
are
cheeseburgers.
delicious.
you know, like fully done and not, runny and stuff. You might.
I don't know. Oh, you don't have eggs though either, which I have a huge ethical debate on why vegans don't eat eggs.
Yeah, well, so do a lot of vegans. Vegans are, it's
Because
one
you're
of those
like,
things.
oh, we're cruel to animals and hubba dub dub
It's an
dub.
egg.
But
It's an egg.
what if you rescue
I'm pretty
a
sure
chicken
there's no hubba dub dub dub.
and you nurse it back to life with your own eyedropper, and then this chicken
Well,
has
I've
to
done
live
that,
the
but-
rest of its life watching the fruit of its toil be spoiled because you won't crack an egg
Well,
on a
first of
Sunday morning.
There's two questions here, if you will allow me to answer, Mr. Sauce.
All right, well, it is your show. I guess
First
it's
of
your-
all,
That's what I heard.
do chickens sit around
Thinking about that.
thinking about their eggs? I mean, the
me
chicken
tell you
brain
something.
is about the size of.
I have a conure that loves eggs, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What does it mean? I guess it's no kin to him.
I don't
He
know. I
doesn't
got
care.
beat at checkers once by a chicken.
Yeah, they're good at
Well, what's that
I
say
made
about
that
you?
up.
that. No,
I
they
play
do play
checkers.
tic-tac-toe. They
They play chick-tac-toe.
Ah.
But the second there are no comments from outside, please.
Alrighty. What was your second?
My second point was that
question?
the word vegan
Yeah,
Mhm.
cover is a pretty wide tent,
that's right.
and so it covers people
It's
who
Greek
are
from boring appetite.
Bland,
just shut up.
tasteless. Yeah,
There are
what?
people. You come to my house, I will make you delicious vegan
Don't
food.
dare me. I
I've
will.
eaten vegetables before.
At one time, it's in his diary. May 1st, 2009. Eat a vegetable. I know people who are like that. But back to my point.
All right.
Vegan is this wide tent, and there are people in the vegan realm who absolutely will eat an egg if it's their chicken.
If it's their chicken.
Because it's about non-cruelty. And so if you have a chicken that you've rescued, the same scenario you've put forward, there are vegans out there who will 100% be like, I'm not doing any, this chicken is just leading its happy little life,
Right.
and it's depositing eggs.
But isn't that
and-
like chicken abortion? I mean,
That's
But-
not good enough.
But, yeah, well then, see,
This
then
isn't
there's the people who
Congress.
are like,
Right.
there's that issue.
yeah.
There are health food vegans
Mhm.
who just don't want to ingest the cholesterol.
Okay.
And so, it's
It
there.
goes
Those are
some
people who
different
are eating a what we call a plant-based diet,
Mm.
as
They're
opposed
hungry
to
a lot.
being. We are not hungry.
You don't look hungry. I'm gonna say.
I'm never hungry. Look at this. There's never this young man here is
They make
never.
fake mozzarella sticks. I mean, you guys have.
They
it
make
good
fake
now.
everything
Now's
now.
a better time. to
Yeah,
be
back
vegan.
when you were
Yeah.
a wee child.
No.
No,
There
he
was
never
nothing-
a wee
soy milk
child.
and rice milk
Oh
used to
no!
be
Ugh.
ugh, like
And those
brutal.
nasty
See,
hot
Now
dogs,
it's not
man.
bad actually.
No, it's not bad, and they
It's good now.
realized, and you know what they realized was sugar. If we just fill this stuff with sugar,
It's great.
it's delicious. And
Yeah.
if you like drink soy milk and then go back to like regular milk,
No.
you're like, where's the sugar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tastes funny.
They've gotten us all hooked on.
Of course, if you like sugar in your pasta, I guess that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people don't eat, to finish this thought, steak.
Steak.
Most of the eggs you're going to buy at a grocery store are coming from
Factory farm.
terrible farm. I mean, where they're, there's a cage that's the size of my harmonica
But
case
you
here.
said it yourself
And they
that what do
stay there
chickens
forever.
know?
Right. Well, they know cruelty, I think. I mean, they might not be thinking what happened to my egg, but if they are being forced to be like,
That's what they
especially the
do.
ones that are bred for meat are being made huge and they can't walk around, and it's
Sounds
it's a
great.
pretty terrible life.
It is. It truly
They do cut their beaks off though.
Yes,
Yeah, they do all
do.
sorts
A
of
couple
terrible things
days
to
before
them.
They, so that's not.
Okay,
Man,
can we talk
this
about something
conversation, this
cheerful
whole
now,
thing, this
please?
show took a real turn.
Ooh,
That's
it
all
took
I'm
a
saying.
crash.
So anyway, he's going around South America, and he's going all the way here.
I did have a point about
There
that.
it goes.
I read something. It's there's footage, you can see it on YouTube, of what those ships were like going around the Horn of South America, and it just seems terrible. But what
They didn't have cameras back then.
Yes, they did.
Aren't you a historian?
Don't you know that they invented they invented the camera long
You
before.
said movies.
Yeah, it's like 1915 or something,
was
and
a
some
video.
ship going around. They had movies in 1915. Ask Carl; he'll tell you they had movies
He
in
was
1915.
there.
Hey-o, I didn't make that joke. But
They're called Zytoscopes, first of all.
back to me. They would drop passengers off in Panama before there was a canal and take them across Panama on like mules,
Yeah.
so that you wouldn't have to endure the trip around.
Yeah, you
But
just
then
get malaria instead of scurvy.
Instead.
Exactly right. And then you have to wait. Who knows how long it's going to take for the ship to show up. And then
Wait,
the passengers.
same ships would get them?
And
They
then
wouldn't
when
have
they
different
come up
ships?
there.
No, the same ship would
That's
then.
so dumb. Why don't they
Somebody
not
does.
have like a Pony Express style
They
thing
got-
with different ships?
Got your money on both ends. See,
So
that's
if we
how it's
could
gonna work.
invent a time machine and put Chuck Sauce in it, he would go back and say, use different ships. Have one ship drop them off and have another ship pick them up.
Or, we had the Transcontinental Railroad. We could have gone
No.
through there.
Well,
What other
we didn't have that in
Not
Panama,
yet.
did
Talk
we?
about? And I'm so
No.
curious about your book. So do you think
Uh-oh,
people
here
are
we
going to
go.
be like having people around their coffee table and they're going to, I imagine it's going to be hardback and not paperback.
Are we talking about me or are we talking about the
book.
gypsy
Yeah, what are you
from
talking about?
Hog Bottom Creek?
No, I don't want to spoil that. for everybody.
You can't.
Because we are
trust
gonna have a copy of that on our coffee table. But go
me. Be
ahead.
right.
afraid. Be very
So
afraid.
is all the pictures going to be inside the CD?
No, it's in a book.
It's in a
The
book.
CD will be attached to the.
Oh, it's in the book. kinda
pull it
thing.
out, stick it
Right.
in, or
beg your
stream it.
pardon?
I mean, CDs are a little
Outdated.
antediluvian.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
If I may use a fancy word.
No.
I keep them with my Zytoscopes.
Exactly. The CD will be there for, my demographic who listens to my music may in fact be the
1835.
demographic that still has wax cylinders.
And coffee tables and cares about history.
So
and
we're
books.
gonna put this out on every available format. It'll
Oh,
be
good.
Spotify,
Mhm.
iTunes,
Laserdisc.
CD, Laserdisc, mini disc, 8-track, cassette,
Mini
reel,
discs were here for like a year and a
Yeah.
half.
That
reel to
fast.
reel, 33 and a third, 45, 78,
I love real to
and
real.
wax cylinder. We're just gonna
Cool.
put the whole,
Wax
Yeah.
cylinder.
gonna go to the Edison Company and I'm gonna
Get those
record
little
the whole
tin
thing.
ones that you know.
That's good.
So I should play another song.
Do you have another song about Captain Cook?
I do have a
I wanna
song.
dive into this
Yes.
history.
He does.
Wait, I do have a song about Captain Cook. And it's been a while since I played it, but let's see if I can. Since I have to play a show tomorrow, maybe I should.
You might do that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It doesn't move. Sorry.
No, it doesn't move. It's really made this. It used to move all the time,
know.
and now it won't move at all. Take this letter, please, my dear. Read it when I am far from here. We ride in the morning on the tide. With God and country on our side. Oh, I am bound for the other side of the world, off the map to points unknown. Yes, I am bound for the other side of the world. Can't say for sure when I'll be home. Being a captain's wife is hard, I know. I'm barely here to watch the children grow. You ask, what is it I'm trying to find? If I only knew, would it ease your troubled mind? Oh, I am bound for the other side of the world, off the map to points unknown. Yes, I am bound for the other side of the world. Can't say for sure I'm coming home. Reef the topsail and furl the jib. Have the watch wake me at midnight if we ever pass Madrid. North from Tahiti and south from Ketchikan, I'm beginning to long for dry land. This will be my final letter, dear. I don't think the locals want us here. We thought they thought we were heaven sent. I'm beginning to think we misread their intent. Oh, I am bound for the other side of the world, off to points unknown. Yes, I am bound for the other side of the world. Don't think I'm ever coming home, but I'll keep you in my heart where I roam.
I have to ask where you got that guitar, though.
Bounty.
Oh, okay, what year? 10?
What's that?
That year 10 that you got that?
Okay. I treat my
His guitar seems a little loved.
It is.
But the older the guitar, the more love that goes into it, the more unique of a sound it gets.
It is not even 10 years old, but I beat the heck out of
That's
my
the travel one.
music.
Yeah.
No, I feel like all I know there are a lot of guitar players out there who baby their instruments and treat them like
very gentle babies.
Yeah, and I am the exact opposite.
The Nevius clan does not baby
I think
anything.
guitars should have the
Born.
living daylights beaten out of them, because that's what gives them their character and their sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taken me. It's like seasoning a cast iron skillet, and I feel like this guitar it took a while to get it seasoned, but
Good.
you know, find the right strings. Don't
vegans
cut them.
season stuff. Yeah.
We use spice. What is
man, the okra on this is so good.
You just think
Wow,
we
this-
eat tofu at home
These
with
Walla
nothing
Walla
on
Washington onions.
vegetables.
you
Yum,
had
yum,
this
yum.
picture of us just like sitting around.
And rice. What?
Yeah, white rice. You probably think.
No,
No,
you're a brown
brown
rice
rice.
guy.
Yeah,
Everyone knows
good,
that.
good. That was a trick question.
Yeah.
I was trying to get you.
Clearly, a man named Kilo Nevius is watching his glycemic index and
Hey.
needs brown rice.
So if you want to hear that song live and other songs and the fantastic Steve Craig, we haven't really had a chance to talk about him because he's not here.
And 2 to 4, what a great time to get some coffee in you.
Exactly, and
Maybe
just
a
like
scone.
Oh, lovely. You know what they have over there? They have this little
Scones?
Nutella scone.
Look, that's your. All right,
gotta be
your
turned off.
mic is
You're
off. That
outta
was your
here.
third strike. That's right. I mean, the folks at home are like, "You
What
turned off
happened?
his mic?" I don't think that had happened at all.
No, there is a wonderful Nutella scone there that I have definitely go to get. So
I turned your mic back on just because you're a
she's
good boy.
nice to you.
Thank you.
So nice to you.
So from 2 to 4, Wailuku Coffee Company. It's on It's 26 North Market Street, so it's right there in the heart of downtown Wailuku, on the same block as the historic Eau Theater.
Plenty of parking on the
We do
weekends.
try to get the words historic Eau Theater
Every
into
chance
every
we get.
episode of the
What?
Tub, and it had not happened yet, so I'm glad I got that in.
And no
Yeah.
upcountry.
Dun, 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 which I'm hoping Mr. Steve Craig will play. He actually has some secret songs he's going to play. He's got new stuff he's working on. He's got some stuff he's going to pull out of the vaults. So if you come, you are going to hear original music by me, Chemo Nevius. That's www.chemosongs.com. You're going to hear original music by Steve Craig.
chemo@chemosongs.com.
That's the email.
Well,
But if you just go to chemosongs.com, you will find a plethora of music. You'll hear originals by me. You'll hear originals by Steve. You'll hear covers from some of your favorite artists. You'll hear us singing separately. You'll hear us singing together. I mean, what? Literally, what more could you ask for? Nothing.
You sound like a real people pleaser.
And it's going to be a great show, and we're going to raise money for a great cause, and we're going to help people who need our help. And
not just Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands too.
yeah, exactly.
right.
Let's not forget the poor U.S. Virgin Islands has really been suffering as well.
Yeah.
They've been
You know,
beaten
Trump
badly.
met with the president of the U.S. Virgin Islands recently,
So I heard.
only to discover.
Did you write a song about that too?
I have a number of
Aren't
songs
you working on
about.
Trump the musical?
I am, and
Or did Jaws the musical?
I
from
will
the
in
version
fact.
I
Maybe.
want
of the
tickets. I
shark
want to put
takeover?
in my vote for my ticket now when you hit Broadway. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So there's a.
Sponsored by Cheetos.
And Sunkiss.
What is the sound of a world turned upside down? The sound of a people whose hopes have all been drowned. The face of this disgrace is an orange thin-skinned clown. A carnival barker, a tweeting huckster who's bringing the discourse down, down, down. Well, now a revolution has begun. Like a bullet that can't go back into the barrel of a smoking gun. Our eyes were shut before, I'm sure, now they're open wide. Go build your dam, your fence, your wall, 'cause you're never gonna stem the tide. Oh, and I, oh, I, this is my dissent. Oh, I, he's not my president. He's not my president. You can hear that song too if you come tomorrow. Ooh,
All of it.
All of it. There's more verses. That's the song that is, in fact, the theme song to the Tub. If you recognize that chord. So, Chuck Sauce, real quick, where can people see you and find you and talk to you?
They can hear me right here on this station.
Yeah,
Loudly.
Biscuits and Gravy every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Via Standard Time. At the
Holy
historic
smokes.
Biscuits and Gravy.
People who don't even have
Amphitheater.
radios can hear you. Keep
Why,
going.
it's so loud. And every Tuesday at Trees Bar and Grill in downtown Kihei at Trees Bar and Grill from 9 to 11. There's a comedy show and comedy open mic. And you can catch me and the wonderful Chino LaForge, Ted Anderson, October 27th at 7 p.m. at Maui Pro Arts for a comedy, cocktail, and cabaret extravaganza.
Woo.
We got wine. We got both kinds, white and red. We're going to have a keg and a poo-poo platter.
Woo. And Sweet Mama D, where can people find you?
On Sunday, you can find me all day. I'll be at
All
2 to 5
day.
on all day.
All
Manao
day.
Radio Blues Rainbow from 2 to 5. And Sunday evening at the Puerto Rican Benefit.
And you can find me at the Wailuku Coffee Company at Saturday, October 21st from
I'll
2
be
to
there.
4. Sweet Mama D will be there. Chuck
the
Sauce will be
Invisible
there in
Man.
spirit.
In spirit.
Even if he can't be there. Thank you so much for joining us on the Tub today. This has been a Larry John production. Aloha. Peace out, everybody.